Did you know that sports books like FanDuel and DraftKings are counting on you lose? After a tough NFL season, especially weeks 5 and 6 of the 2024 season and last year's March Madness, they're counting on your bets to recover. It's time to take control of your money and make smarter choices for your family. This is the Raising Karter podcast. I am the host, Ramon Weatherall, and we're talking about March Madness. We're talking about basketball, and I love basketball. But if you're betting on March Madness, you need to check out this video because sites like FanDuel and DraftKings, they're waiting for you. They're hoping, they're anticipating 3.1 billion is going to be spent on March Madness, the male and the female tournament. That's a whole lot of money. And they're expecting and they're hoping that you come up on the short end. And this article right here in Market Watch displays that, shows you that. March Madness numbers to know include 3.1 billion wages, 3.1 billion in wages and nearly 5 million in earnings to one player. And there will be a lot of money at play. Estimated 3.1 is expected to be legally waged on the men's and women's college basketball tournament. 14.8% increase from the 2.7 billion in 2024. That's even more that was waged on the Super Bowl. That was 1.39 billion that was estimated to have been waged on the 2025 Super Bowl. So March Madness is a big deal. And you losing money is what they're hoping to happen. That's what they're hoping to happen. That's what sites like FanDuel and DraftKings are hoping to happen. And you know, and why I bring up and why they're really pressing for this is because last year's March Madness, they lost money. This year's NFL season, weeks 5 and 6, they lost a lot of money. So they're hoping to get their get back on you guys in March Madness. Here's proof of that. Here's another article from Market Watch that shows that DraftKings lost. This is just DraftKings lost 250 million in revenue, mostly on NFL games. NFL outcomes early in the fourth quarter have resulted in headwinds to revenues. 250 million and 175 million reportedly by DraftKings CEO Justin Robbins said. The weeks that did it for them were weeks 5 and 6 because sportsbooks have a commission that you have to pay. So every time you bet, you pay them a commission. They call it the VIG. So, and most of the times that VIG is 10%. So whether they come out on the winning side of it or the losing side of it, they make money. They make money. So you heard me just say that they're expecting for bettors to bet $3.1 billion. What's 10% of $3.1 billion? $310 million that the sports books are going to make just off people betting. So for them, it doesn't even matter if you win or lose. They make money. But in weeks 5 and 6, But it says here, but several weeks so far in this NFL season, especially weeks 5 and 6, teams were favored, did disproportionately well, securing a big win for casual bettors. DraftKings VIGs was not even enough to match the losses. So the casual bettors did so well in those weeks, just betting on the favorite teams, that they took a loss. They took a hit. And also in March Madness, everybody betted on Connecticut. Even though the sports books try to make it seem, they try to switch the odds so it makes it look good for you to bet for the underdog, because they know we're greedy. So, oh man, if I bet for the underdog and the underdog wins, I make all this money. They pretty much know the underdog's not gonna win, but if you bet your money and you lose, it's good for them. They got the VIG and they got your losses. But a lot of people betted for the favorites. They won, and even though they got all this money from the VIG, the commission that they get from you betting, it still didn't matter. So this year, they're hoping that you take the bait, that you bet for the underdog, that you are wrong. And even because everybody's making money off this thing. Everybody's making money now. Even the women's teams get paid, not the individual players get paid for March Madness, but this is the first time that the women's teams get paid for participating in March Madness. It's the first. The men have been getting paid for years, but now the women are getting paid. And you got Duke's Duke superstar Cooper Flag, who makes $4.8 million this season. And this was the kicker right here. This is how much they know about you guys. This is how much they know about you guys. They say corporate losses. March Madness is must-see TV. And that could present a problem for some employers. It's estimated it will be $17 billion in corporate losses due to unproductive workers due to the tournament, according to a study conducted by Wallet Hub. So your cost, not only you losing your money, you losing your boss's money, because you wasting all your time watching March Madness because you betting on it. And even Warren Buffett, the Oracle, is betting against you. He said he's got a withstanding bet that's been going on for years. If you get your whole bracket right, he will give you $1 billion. But the odds in that, the odds in that are one. But the odds in that are 1 in 9.2 quintillion. The odds in that are 1 in 9.2 quintillion. Those odds are so low that a person would be more likely to win the Powerball multiple times. Come on, man. But these are the keys from this. This is also another article, Sports Betting Gambling Survey. Then this is to show you the mindset of people that gamble that use sites like FanDuel and DraftKings, or go to the casino and go to the sports, the sports book. They got it all nice in there, a bunch of TVs, everything is beautiful. And 38 states have now legalized it. So it's damn near everywhere. And even the District of Columbia, even they have also. So it's everywhere. But this is the psyche. Sports betting, gambling, thousands on average per year. Americans bet on sports in the past 12 months say that they've spent $3,284 on average on gambling during this time, which could be a combination of sports betting and other gamblers. The medium spent is lower, it's $750. The top motivations for sports betting. This survey found participants to make extra money. That's why most people say they gamble is to make extra money. So some are taking on debt, and others consider the betting to be an investment. 1 in 7 sports bettors, 14% say they have gone into debt from gambling. And the other, and close to a third of sports bettors, 31%, view gambling as an investment. Gambling isn't an investment. When you invest in something, you purchase an asset. When you buy real estate, when you buy stocks, when you buy bonds, that's an investment, a long-term investment, or that's an investment, something that you have. A bet is not an investment. You only own it until you lose or win, and then it's over. 2 hours, 3 hours, however long the event lasts, an outcome comes, and after that, you either get paid or you just lost your money. It's not an investment. So if you don't even know the difference between that, it's no wonder why so many of us don't invest. But let's continue here. And here's the third, the key findings. Some of the sports bettors reveal to bet more that to bet more in the new year. 3 in 10 sports bettors, 29%, plan to increase the amount. Here's a graph. I'll link all these articles in the description. Out of the people that they talk to, I want to make extra money. 65% of the people say. That's what 61% of the people say they enjoy it. 53% say they like, they partake in it because, family and friends do it. That's half, 53. Another 50% say they like the competition. So that's probably a lot of the people that bet on FanDuel and DraftKings. And 42% of the people say because they have a knowledge of sports. Big deal. That doesn't mean anything because sports. I can bet, even though sports, you're going to lose more than you win because it's an outcome you can't control. 38% say it's, another way of fandom. I can see that, being a big sports fan or a fan of a team. Now you think you're so involved in the team, you're putting money down on it. 35%, because, your favorite player, you're betting on your favorite player. And here's a big one. 32% of the people say they do it because it's a distraction from their family. Basically, getting away from reality. So you're getting so involved, you're able to get so involved in something that doesn't have to do with your family. All these reasons, all these things aren't it's not a good, it's not healthy. I'm not saying there's something wrong with gambling, but you need to keep it in perspective. And most people can't. You know why? Because I had a problem with it. Most people can't. I'm gonna have somebody on the show. I'm gonna have a good friend of mine on the show that's gonna come on the podcast that's gonna tell you he had to literally bar himself from the casino because it's that addictive. It can ruin your life. It can ruin your life. The average person is spending $750 a year. The average person is spending $750 a year on sports betting, sports books. This is FanDuel, this is DraftKings, this is the stocks. You could instead of you using your money to bet on games and lose money, you right now you could be winning money with these companies. You could be you know if that's what you want to do, that would be a better bet than going out spending all your money betting on March Madness. Buy some stock. These are the two ticker symbols for DraftKings. This is FanDuel over here. But right here, this is Berkshire Hathaway. The average person spends $750 on bets. You could buy a whole share of Berkshire Hathaway for $523.54. You could buy a whole share and almost a quarter of a share instead of using all your money on FanDuel, DraftKings, the NFL. The NFL is the number one sports betting. The NFL is number one when it comes to sports betting. That's where people spend the most of their money. But March Madness is right up there, and they're hoping you lose. I hope you watch this video to the end so you can see that if you just took the $750 that the average person bets on sports betting throughout the year, you could buy you a whole share of Berkshire and Hathaway stock, Warren Buffett stock, the man that's worth 84 billion dollars. You could buy a share of his company, almost a quarter share of his company, a share and plus a quarter of a share. But you definitely could buy a whole share of it. And they even had what the average person loses 3,000. You could buy several shares you could buy almost six shares for that much. Come on. You have to be more responsible with your money. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with gambling, but you need to know that these companies are hoping you lose. They make money when you bet and they make money when you lose. They even make money when you win off the VIG. So if you got any value from this video, check out this other video I did about day trading. Another way that a lot of men waste money and how it's just another form of gambling. It's just like, to me, DraftKings and FanDuels. So I'm out of here. Peace.